Hello everyone, welcome to Amrita IAS monthly current affairs series, and we'll be this time dealing with science and tech part 2. In the part 1 we have seen one topic very comprehensively, that was immunity. Apart from that, many of the factors were related to corona. This time we'll see some of the space stuff like we always do in our part 1 and part 2. So starting with Kepler 1649c, it is an exoplanet. Now what is an exoplanet? Exoplanets are the planets that are outside our solar system. Now, what kind of questions you can expect out of? We have discussed many of the exoplanets. So, what question you can expect first? What is exoplanet? Secondly, you can expect Kepler 1649c. What is it? Okay. Now, if you see the UPSC trend itself, science and tech or economy or majority of the these subjects which are relatively technical in nature, UPSC asks really easy questions. Tough questions you can expect in polity, tough questions you can expect in modern history, medieval history, ancient history. In these arenas, science and tech, environment, you can expect relatively tough questions. But in the questions science and tech and as well as economy, easy questions are being asked. Okay, so Kepler 1649c, it is a similar to Earth. For example, it is just 1.6 times size of the Earth. Okay, discovered from Kepler Space Telescope of NASA. So unlike Earth, Kepler orbits the red dwarf, which is known for the stellar flare-ups that make up the planet's environment, challenging any potential life. That means any sign of the potential life is not being found in this Kepler. Okay, the possibility is really low. So new Earth-like exoplanet Kepler 1649c found, scientists analyze if it can sustain life. Okay, so it revolves around the red dwarf. One thing I'll say in geography, please prepare this portion because you will see many of the arenas that are related to it. The life of a star. How a star evolves, how it finally goes to whether it becomes a white dwarf, whether it becomes a black hole. So please prepare that angle from your geography. I think chapter 1 it is there in solar system. It's not relatively technical, but some of the terms that are there, what is the difference between star, white dwarf, black hole, these small things you should prepare. Next is digital map of the moon. So the digital map of the moon has been created by United States Geological Survey, NASA and Lunar Planetary Institute. So the scale is 1:5 million. So the map will be digital, unified, global, and more importantly, geological map has been created. How the surface of moon really is. Okay, right. So what will be the benefit out of it? So the benefit will be it will create a blueprint for future human missions, because now we will see also in the May month some accords are being set up, some protocols are being set up, how the human habitation, if impossible on the moon, will look like. So protocols, global treaties, you will hear all these things going along. This becomes also very important in the context of the Chandrayaan 2 as well. Okay, so it's a blueprint for future human missions and source for research analysis for educators and general public, obviously. So some of the features of the moon will be seen on that on this digital map, right? So remember, released by US Geological Survey and NASA. Next is Tianwen 1. So from the name itself you can guess it is related to China. So it is China's first mass exploration mission to be launched later this year. So they have planned it 1 year ahead of its planned year. Okay. So basically earlier China also attempted an exploratory probe on Mars in 2011, but that did not go well. Okay, so now they are planning again, that will include an orbiting one, a landing aircraft and a detachable rover as well. So it will consist of the orbiter, a lander and a rover. I know you know these basic terms. Okay, so as you discussed 2011 term that it built with Russia, it has failed. Okay, it was declared lost and later burned during the re-entry. So till now, who have been succeeded in sending missions to Mars? US, Russia, EU and India. And India is the fortunate country, or we build it like that, the first country to enter into the Martian orbit in its very first attempt. Okay, and that is why our Mars mission, Mars orbital mission, that is MOM, was so successful in the global arena. Okay, in the mains master, I have discussed one question. I've given one question to the students that how ISRO stands out as a center of excellence. What are the different criterias why ISRO stands out as a center of excellence? So these kind of question you can expect, because now in this a lot of private sector entry into the space is in the news. Already it is being there, but now a bill is pending, right? Space activity draft bill is pending from 2017. Government in the Atmanirbhar Bharat Abhiyan has categorically said that we want to we want to make private sector an important entity into the space sector, right? So the combined question can be made. So when we have discussed one question in the prelims master, when it will be a mains master, while preparing for mains, you can consider that. So just to very briefly highlight, so what are the different factors? We call it ABCD. It is written in one of the articles. So first is autonomy being provided. Next is less bureaucracy. Then the capital and the collaboration that is there, both internal and external collaboration that ISRO supports. The capital it gets, the funding it gets from the government, not too much, but still not less, that curbs it initiatives, right? And finally, democratic work culture. Very importantly, democratic work culture that promote excellence. Okay, coming back to the topic. Next is Sunrise mission. So Sunrise mission is a NASA's mission. Okay, the full form is Sun Radio Interferometer Space Experiment. So it will explore how the sun generates and releases giant weather storms known as solar particle storms into the space. So again, the exploration of the sun will be done by NASA. Next is very important. This mission is very important from exam perspective. That is Demo 2 mission. Okay, so Demo 2 mission, basically it is a NASA's mission. Remember, it is a NASA's mission to send astronaut to the International Space Station. Now, you see, NASA's astronauts will go to the International Space Station, but with the vehicle created by the SpaceX. We are talking about the private sector involvement, isn't it? So this is the private sector. That is the extent of the private sector involvement in USA. SpaceX, Elon Musk. So what is the name of this rocket? Crew Dragon. Crew Dragon. Okay. So it will mark the NASA's first crew launch since the agency's space shuttle retired in 2011. So how the NASA was sending its astronaut to the ISS? Its shuttle retired in 2011. So in between they were sending it with Russia's vehicle. Okay, so Russia's vehicle was being used. If you have seen many of the comedy shows such as Big Bang Theory is there, one very good comedy show. So in which one of the person goes to the space, that he goes with the Russian spacecraft. So since then, Russian Soyuz spacecraft was the sole means of the human transport to International Space Station. Okay, so they were delivering the cues in there. They also came back after, I think, they or some people, they returned as well. So it was a very big news when it was done, right? So remember, SpaceX, to prove itself in the Demo 1. In Demo 1, what done is SpaceX has done the test flight of the unmanned flight to the International Space Station. Okay, so please remember this. This one is important. Next is JUICE mission. So JUICE is Jupiter Ice Explorer mission, right? So it's an ESA, European Space Agency's mission, has announced its launch JUICE mission by 2022. It aims to spend at least 3 years making detailed observation on the giant gaseous planet Jupiter and the moons of the Jupiter: Ganymede, Io, Europa, Ganymede, and Callisto. So Europa is not included. Only 3: Ganymede, Callisto, and Europa. Okay. Scientists are not yet sure, but they suspect that all 3 might have massive oceans, all the 3 of its moons. So JUICE will also measure how each of the Jupiter's moon is stretched by tidal interaction with other worlds in the system. Jupiter itself is so massive that it is really close to its moon. Okay, and even before it launched, it clicked some picture. So if the question comes, question will be the questions I think you must have seen in the test series as well. So mission country or mission agency. So matching type question can come. Okay, because there are so many missions. For example, how you should prepare for this as well. If you remember, we have discussed a lot of missions of NASA. In NASA's interplanetary missions, we have discussed. ISRO's chart I have made. That should be your one of the one, if you want to prepare like that, that can be one of your guiding light how to prepare these missions. Very tricky, very factual in nature. You have to prepare it like that. You have to make these kind of short notes to prepare such missions, because it is very tricky. So just to revise, so China, we have read Tianwen 1, that is China's exploration to the Mars. With ESA, we have read JUICE. For NASA, we have read Demo 2 mission, that is sending to International Space Station, and then Sunrise mission, that is getting to know more about the sun and the space storms that it generates, weather storms it generates. Next is lithium-rich giant stars. So what is this? So the giant stars, researchers in India, Indian Institute of Astrophysics, under the Department of Science and Tech, they have discovered that many of the stars are lithium rich. Now, many of the stars are composed of hydrogen and helium. Apart from hydrogen and helium, lithium is also there. The third most predominant element, you can say. Right? So, the research says that lithium is being produced in the stars and abundant in the interstellar system, interstellar medium. Interstellar medium means all the space that is there in the space. That is all called interstellar medium. There was a movie also named as Interstellar, isn't it? So, Indian Institute of Astrophysics has associated associated with lithium enhancement with central helium burning star. Don't go into too much detail. So basically, it will when the research has come up. Let us first see this. It is also one of the three primordial elements, as you've discussed. Apart from hydrogen and helium, lithium is also there. Why we are discussing this? You can see it is being done in the PIB also, and that is why it becomes important for us to discuss this. Okay, so this is now I was discussing the life of a star. So if it's an average star, if it's a massive star, how it basically goes to white dwarf or it goes to the black hole. So what is the difference between these things? So the having the lithium research in, it will be seen that at this stage after the red giant, how the evolution of the star happens, how the lithium also gets into the interstellar medium, about research according to these things, right? Don't have to go into technical details. You have to prepare basics. If the such technical topics are there, you have to focus on the basics. And this is what realization, what is important from UPSC perspective is. For example, in this case, you have to prepare this part from your static portion. Okay. Next is Fomalhaut B. So what is this? It was supposed to be an exoplanet earlier. Okay. So it was one of the first exoplanet ever discovered in the visible light by NASA's Hubble telescope in 2004. One of the earliest ones. But now it has been seen that no, it was not an exoplanet, but a giant cloud of dust only. It was not an exoplanet, but a giant cloud of dust left over from the collision of two or more these planets. Okay, so that is Fomalhaut. That is a beloved exoplanet turns to dust. Right. Next is global groundwater maps. So global groundwater maps. So the NASA's and the University of Nebraska Lincoln have developed the new satellite-based weekly maps, new satellite-based maps of the Earth. So the maps will be of the soil moisture, groundwater wetness, and these are being done from the GRACE-FO satellite. Sorry, GRACE-FO. That is Gravity Recover Climate Experiment Follow-on satellites. These satellites are being used to create these global maps. Global maps that are related to global groundwater maps. From the heading you can see. Discussing this GRACE-FO. What is this GRACE-FO is? So it's a mission of the NASA and the German Research Center to track Earth's water movement, to monitor changes in the underground water storage, amount of water in the Great Lakes, like water studies basically. That's all we need to keep in mind. Now, availability of the fresh water or the water crisis that is unfolding or will unfold in the going forward, we need such kind of an scientific interventions, isn't it? You have seen that in Niti Aayog's recent report. which has said that India will run out, 21 cities in India will run out of the water by 2020, by 2021. And world over, there's a problem of the water, right? And because of the population pressure, because of such needs, and that is why researches on the salinization of the ocean plants and all these things are happening. Okay, so that is why in that context also it becomes relatively more important. So GRACE FO, a successor of the earlier GRACE mission that orbited Earth from 2002 and 2017. So it produced, just one second, it produced time varying maps of distribution of water at all three depths: surface, soil moisture, root zone of the soil, shallow groundwater, and they will be freely available to the people as well. So they revealed drought in the remote areas. So whatever the interventions that are being taken, for example, we have discussed UNFCCC and CBD and UNCCD. So how will these things carry out? These will carry it out. The scientific or the factual backing will be provided by such experiment, isn't it? What else it will, from where it will get the scientific inputs? From these satellites only. So remember GRACE FO. That's all you have to remember. Next, very important. So GW 190412 event. You see, whenever these questions come, these are tough questions, first of all, right? These are tough questions because, and these are the question, I believe, with my experience, I can say that these questions make or break in prelims. If you get these questions right, really you get an advantage over the other. It's all about these 1 to 2 questions, especially for serious aspirants. I'm not talking about the aspirants, those who have not very well prepared, obviously. They will be lacking some of the basic stuff, but those who are serious aspirants, for them these questions can be make or break, because in prelims it is better, obviously it's better to get ahead of this cutoff. For example, cutoff is 90 at this time. If you're getting in your first calculation 110, you are very sure that you will prepare for prelims. But you are getting somewhere in between 94 to 102, then you're always unsure, okay, whether I'll clear prelims or not, whether I'll clear prelims or not. So that psyche will can waste a lot of your time. So GW 190412 event. So it is an event. It started. It is an event when recently witnessed event of that merger of the two black holes. So it is a part of the LIGO experiment. Please prepare LIGO experiment on your own end. If I'll find time, I'll discuss that. I haven't discussed LIGO experiment. I'll discuss it in June or June or July month somewhere. But LIGO, please prepare on your end. LIGO can come because it is not in news. But last year it was too much in news. So for the first time, it started functioning. The gravitational wave observatories that are at LIGO. LIGO at both the places. Okay. So one at USA and one in Italy. 2 LIGO detectors are in USA and a Virgo in Italy. Third is being set up in India. Okay, so not currently being set up, but will be set up in near future. So they have detected this event, which is the merger of the two black holes. Okay, and the whole LIGO experiment is to prove the general theory of relativity of Einstein. Next, very easy, Iran's first military satellite, that is Noor. So military satellite, when the Iran sets up a non-military satellite, it will create tensions in the US camp, isn't it? They say the argument of the USA is the technology that is being used for the military satellite is similar technology for the this ICBMs, intercontinental ballistic missiles. And when they have nuclear weapons, they will attach them to these missiles and they will send it to US or Israel. Okay, so that is the worry. So Israel is also worried, the US is also worried. Remember, Noor. So it is the first military satellite. Earlier they also tried, this Iranians, but they have failed. So Noor means light, and by the 3-stage gazed launcher. So their launcher name is gazed. Gazed means messenger. Okay. Next is Nano Blitz 3D. So Nano Blitz 3D by International Advanced Research Center for Powder Metallurgy and New Material has developed an advanced tool, that is Nano Blitz. So what is this material will be used for? It will be used for mapping the nanomaterial properties of materials such as multi-phase alloys, composites, multi-layered coatings. So to map out this nanomechanical properties of it. Okay, so the new tool can map the nanomaterial properties of the material such as new phase alloys, composites, and multi-layer coatings. And that tool is NanoBlitz. So even if you listen to this once, you will get it in prelims. I'm sure about it, because you have seen it in the video, you have listened to it, or you have revised from the PDF. You'll get it. And this institute is an autonomous institute under the Department of Science and Tech, and that is why it becomes more important. Okay, from the name you can see international, but it is an Indian autonomous institute under the Department of Science and Tech. Next is nano composed coatings. Okay, so these coatings are made up by mixing two or more dissimilar material at the nano scale. So at the nano scale, two or more materials are mixed up. It has improved its own other properties, right? So they have shown excellent tri-biological behavior. For example, the interaction in especially during the friction, lubrication, and the wear and tear. One of the biggest problem anything face, for example, you must have heard of wear and tear, friction, that reduces the overall performance of an instrument, isn't it? And if you have such material, nano composed coatings, if you can reduce it, if you can reduce the friction, if you can improve the lubrication, if you can reduce the wear and tear, it can impact a lot on the reduction of the cost, right? The capital cost of that instrument increases. So the scientist develops friction reducing nanocomposites coating to increase the device life, and this was I was talking about. So if the device life is improved, obviously the overall performance of it will improve, the cost will decrease because you will require a lot more time to replace the device. You also know that there is a degradation factor as well, right? Every year the factor, for example, you are using a car, every year the cost of the car reduces. Why? Because of the wear and tear. Have to relating to it just. Next is Indian Initiative for Earth Biogenome Sequencing. First, what is it? So we have at a world level, that is Earth Biogenome Program. Okay, Earth Biogenome Program. It is called a moonshot for biology, right? It will create a catalog of life on Earth. So what it will do? It will do all the genome sequencing, all the DNAs. It will create a catalog of it. What are the different DNAs of people or animal life? What are the different variations are there? So just the aim to catalog all these digital sequence. Within this Earth Biogenome Program, we have Indian Initiative on the Earth Biogenome Sequencing. Okay, so obviously we'll have some German event, some Pakistan or something like that, right? So Indian Initiative on the Earth Biogenome Sequencing is a project to decode the genetic information of all known species of plant and animal in the country. So collaboration of the national initiative, that is Earth Biogenome Program. So this is an international initiative, as we have discussed. Moonshot for biology, aim to sequence the genetic code of all the Earth eukaryotic biodiversity. We will discuss, these are very basic biology terms, isn't it, over the 10 years. Now why it is in the news? Because one of the organization have joined this Indian initiative. So this is again Earth initiative, this is an Indian initiative. Within the Indian initiative, many organizations will be working, obviously. So one of the new organization that has joined, that is Jawaharlal Nehru Tropical Botanic Garden and Research Institute. It has recently joined. It will play a key role in the sequencing of the Indian species. Who is the overall mentoring authority? So this is the global one, this is the Indian one. In India, this body will take care. This is a nodal body, that is Indian Institute of Plant Genome Research. Okay, Indian Institute of the Plant Genome Research is the coordinating center of 24 institutions. So one of the 24 institutions will be this. Okay, so it will join hand with other premier agencies to cutting technology and do all these things, right? Collaboration is obviously required. Some money is given from the union government to this institute to take up this project. In India, this project will be completed within the 5 years by this particular program. So benefits, as we have discussed, so digital repository of the genome is expected to provide critical infrastructure to better understanding of the ecosystem and the conservation of biology. Then the new treatment, if you have the genome coding, So treatment of cancers, infectious disease, inherited disease, we have discussed so many disease, agricultural products, these bt, brinjal and all these things, biomaterials, biological fuels, all this can be relatively easy. Okay, so this is the Indian initiative. So just to reiterate, Earth Biogenome Program, it was launched in 2018. Aim is to catalog Earth eukaryotic biodiversity. Now, what is eukaryotes and prokaryotes? Prokaryotes do not have a plasma membrane, so they have only cell walls. This is 6/7 base biology, isn't it? Then in the eukaryotes, we have plasma membrane, we have everything. Eukaryotes are more complex in nature. Prokaryotes, example is bacteria. Eukaryotes, we are all eukaryotes, right? Protozoa, fungi, plant, animal, and human beings, they are eukaryotes. Okay, very basically, that's all we have to discuss. Next is super hydrophobic coating. Super hydrophobic coating is to save steel from rusting. Okay, so save steel from rusting, this coating is being developed. So a team from Indian Institute of Technology, that is ISM Dhanbad, Indian School of Mines, and Ohio State University have created this super hydrophobic coating to save steel from the rusting. Okay, so this coating will be made of the polyurethane and silicon dioxide nanoparticles. All these examples, you just pick up 3 to 4 examples. Nanotechnology is in your syllabus, right, in your mains exam. Just pick up 3 to 4 examples and use it in your mains extensively in the GS3, right? That's all will give you an edge over the other aspirants, including the current affair component. Okay, next is Maze ransomware. From the name ransomware, we have discussed many ransomwares. I hope you know it. So what it does, you have seen many TV series also. So it will encrypt all your data. It will say, okay, you cannot access your data unless until you pay us some money. Okay, so and when you pay the money, then they will give the data. If you don't pay the money, they will use that data, or they will give it that data to your competitor or something like that. They can do anything. So recently an IT service provider, Cognizant, has faced Maze ransomware. So the question can come, the Maze is in the news. What is this Maze? This is the ransomware. Okay, so other ransomware that we have discussed, India has been in 2019, 2020, India has been a target of many cyber attacks. In 2020 itself, during the lockdown period, it has a lots of attack on the, because everything is now going online, isn't it? You have seen many YouTubers as well. Many YouTubers and Twitter also recently. Twitter also hacked. When the Twitter is getting hacked, what else you can say, right? So in 2019, Kaspersky, you must have known the this Antisoft and this antivirus company. So they have seen 3 prominent ransomware, that is Ryuk, Purga and Stop. So remember these names. If the question comes, that will be important. So IT service giant Cognizant hit by Maze ransomware. Next is artificial neural network based global ionoscopic model. First, what is artificial neural networks? Neural networks are what? These are, you can say, in our brain. The information passed from one neurons to other neuron very quickly. So the idea is to create some artificially this same model. How can we use the same mechanism that is being there, that is artificial neural network, a computation model that can replicate the human brain, so as to increase the processing time, right? That is the main idea. So based upon this artificial neural network, they want to create a new ionospheric model. So researchers from Indian Institute of Geomagnetism, again an autonomous institution from DST, has developed this model. Okay, so what is it? Ionospheric electron density is influenced by both solar originated process and earth atmosphere process. Ionosphere layer they are talking about, right? Ionosphere layer. There are layers of atmosphere in the geography, very basic part of geography. So tracking the variability of the ionosphere is important for communication purpose, because ionosphere layer is used for the communication purpose. This is your ionosphere. So one troposphere, stratosphere, thermosphere, ionosphere, right? So Earth orbiting, which where many Earth orbiting satellites revolve, including the International Space Station is also there. So this study will see that how this ionospheric model behaves. What are the factors which impacts whether it be the earth based factors or whether it be the solar based factors, solar system based factors, and that will help in the whole navigation and communication. Okay, so that's the end of the session. Let us quickly revise what we have done. We started with the discussion on the Kepler 1649c, that is an exoplanet, but life is not there. It revolves around a red giant. Okay, then red dwarf revolves around a red dwarf. Then we have digital map of the moon, that is creating a geological map of the moon, right? Initiative by the United States Geological Survey. Then we have seen Tianwen-1 of China, that is their project to explore Mars. Then Sunrise mission of NASA. Then we have the Demo 2 mission, right, where they are sending people to International Space Station by the vehicle of the SpaceX. Then JUICE mission. Then we have discussed this, how you should prepare. Then lithium rich giant stars. So lithium being an important component in the interstellar medium. Then Fomalhaut B, old exoplanet that is not more turned into dust. Global groundwater maps by Grace FO. We have discussed that in relatively more detail. Then GW19041 event, that is merger of the two black holes. Okay. Then Iran's first military site, that is Noor. Then NanoBlitz 3D, a tool that is being used for the mapping of the nanomaterial properties of the material. Then nanocomposite coating, so as to reduce the wear, tear, the friction. Then we have discussed the Earth Biogenome Project. Then part of it is Indians Initiative for Earth Biogenome Sequencing. Within it, a new institute has joined. That institute itself is not very important, but whole idea becomes important. Then we have discussed super hydrophobic coating, Maze ransomware. We have seen few more ransomware stop like that. Then artificial neural network based global ionospheric model. Okay, so with this we finish our session. So we are done with the April month science and tech. In April month only economics part 1 and part 2 are left. We'll discuss that very quickly. In the May month, now we'll start with the May month 1 and 2 of science and tech. Okay, so see you in the next class everyone. Bye bye for now. Thank you.